Hunter Biden is pleading the second in his gun case. Let's go ahead and talk about it. What is up, Wolverines? It is me, investigative journalist extraordinaire John Crump, and this is John Crump News, where we discuss 2A every day. I need you to do me a couple of big favors. First, like, comment, and subscribe. Algorithm, you know how it is. Engagement, you know how it is. Then, after you watch this video, head over to thegundies.com and vote for me for top voices of the 2A. I will link it down below in the description, as well as all the sources for today's story. Today, we're going to be talking about a Biden, and no, not the ice cream eating, kid sniffing Biden. Even though this guy might sniff kids, it's not his dad. We are talking about Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden has been brought up on gun charges, and now he is using a novel defense. And that defense might be the Second Amendment. Hunter Biden was charged for lying on the 4473, where it asked him if he was an unlawful user of any type of drugs, including marijuana. And Hunter Biden said he wasn't. But at the time, Hunter Biden was doing crack quite heavily. He was a crackhead and still might be one. But who knows? They did find cocaine in the White House, and I have a feeling that it might be related to him, but I don't have any proof of that, even though he is a crackhead, or was a crackhead, I should say. Hunter Biden's lawyers are claiming that the charge that he is facing is not consistent with the text, tradition, and history of the Second Amendment. He claims that this charge runs afoul of the Supreme Court's Bruin decision, which I think is funny because his dad doesn't like the Bruin decision at all. President Joe Biden hates the Bruin decision. He hates all guns and all gun rights. His lawyers admit that Hunter Biden did lie in the 4473, but they say that the question is unconstitutional and therefore should not make a difference because the prohibition on people that are on drugs and owning firearms is unconstitutional. They cite Maryland shall issue, they cite Rahimi, and they cite a bunch of other cases to make their point. Now, here is the question that I want to propose to you guys. Do you think that this should be successful? Do you think this motion to dismiss should be successful? I know you guys feel one way about Hunter Biden, and it's probably the same way I feel about Biden and the rest of his family, whether it's Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, Ashley Biden, or any of the other Bidens. I think they're all dirty, and I wish they can throw the book at them. But in this case, I have to look past my hatred of the Biden family. It's not really hatred. It's just an extreme dislike for the ideas and their corruption that they have committed and pushed through their time as part of the ruling class in Washington, D.C. I cannot be a hypocrite. I do not believe by using drugs that you give up your gun rights, whether it's marijuana or anything else. I do not do drugs. I do not condone doing drugs, but I also realize that the Constitution does not say that you should be a prohibited person because you are using drugs. So therefore, I have to put my personal feelings of the Bidens aside and actually go with what my belief system tells me. And my belief system tells me that there should not be any gun crime here. Also, I do not believe in the constitutionality of the ATF Form 4473. I don't believe it exists. It doesn't do anything. And I believe that it is a violation of the Second Amendment because there's no text, tradition, and history that shows that the 4473 is legal. So in my opinion, I don't think Hunter Biden should have had to fill out a 4473 at all, because also there's background checks, and I do not believe that background checks is constitutional. I believe that background checks is prohibitively unconstitutional because, once again, text, tradition, and history, and there's no text, tradition, and history of background checks from the founding era, which is 1791, which is the ratification date of the Second Amendment. Don't even bring up that 1868 date, which was the ratification of the 14th Amendment. Anti-gun judges love using that date because there was more gun laws, because it was right after the Civil War. And during the Reconstruction period, there was a lot of gun laws passed, racist gun laws, to prevent black people from getting firearms. These were Jim Crow laws. Basically, the white plantation owners that held all these black people in slavery were worried that their former slaves would get firearms and come back and seek revenge. They also wanted control over the black population, and you cannot control an armed population. Liberty will always rise if the population is armed, and they did not want freedom and liberty for the freed black slaves. So they passed all these laws to prevent these guys from getting firearms. And this is what the anti-gun establishment are hanging their hats on. All gun laws are racist, and that is what they are hanging their hats on. So let's get back to the Hunter Biden thing. Do I believe that the case should be dismissed against Hunter Biden on the firearms charges? And I absolutely do. I don't like Hunter Biden at all, and I know this opinion is going to be controversial. I can see the chat right now going crazy with people saying that, all laws should be applied equally. And I agree, all laws should be applied equally. But I think all cases that people get charged for lying on the 4473 should be thrown out. I have to put my personal feelings for the Bidens aside on this one. I hope you can do the same. If not, let me know down below and let me know why. Okay, guys, that is it. I'm just a 2A absolutist. So stay vigilant, stay ever free, keeping the fight, buy my book. And with that, we are out of here. Wolverine's motherfucker.